Hey, wonderful dining room. We're going to start on our back with our knees bent, feet flat, hip distance apart. Cool. The way it worked last time. So this is our preparation for bridge pose. Go ahead and just place your hands on your abdominals and just kind of pull it all together. So the core is a transmitter of energy, and it is a powerhouse to also help with our glute muscles. Our glutes are also connected to that, but if we cannot receive energy into the glutes, that's how we might feel low back pain. Our ribs might be flaring. So just keep that in mind. We're just going to try to pull all of this in together today when we work on our glute bridges and any other poses. So from here, go ahead and curl the tailbone under and lift the hips 2 to 3 inches off of the mat. So it's a very low bridge, but this is where we start to connect to our glutes. So take your 2 fingers on each hand and just poke your glutes to make sure they're firing. You're at home alone, so don't worry about it. Or maybe you're with a friend. And then from here, just pause. You can bring your hands to your hips or by your side. And we'll just start to lower and lift an inch. So lift up and then lower. And in the meantime, while doing this, your ribs should be staying pretty much in the same spot. We're keeping the core in, really pushing through those glutes. And while we're doing this, go ahead and stretch out that right wrist and prepare it for weight bearing. So try to reach the right thumb away from all of the fingers. And now your glutes should probably really be feeling it. Go ahead and pull the left fingers back now. Keep breathing. So we're encouraging openness in the front while using the glutes to help keep it open. Good, and then pause at the top. Bring your arms down by the side. And go ahead and walk your right foot a little bit closer to your center line. And lift the left knee over the left hip. So immediately your right glute's going to turn on a little bit more. And we're going to internally rotate our thigh bone. So you should be able to see the outside of your ankle, and then externally rotate it, and then you can now see the inside of your ankle. So internal and external rotation, go ahead and do a few of those without anything changing. So if you need to lower down all the way and just do that motion, you can go ahead and do that too. Still feels great in the hip crease. And then hold it in internal rotation. And take your right hand to the inner part of your left knee and push them in towards each other. So the left knee is pulling into the right, and immediately you should feel the right glute turn on even more. And then go ahead and put your left foot down and lift the right knee over the right hip. So if you need to, again, lower, you're more than welcome to. Internal and external rotation. Internal rotation, you can see the outside. External rotation, you can see the inside. This is an area that we tend to get stuck in. Good, hold it in internal rotation. Push into the inside part of that right knee with your left hand. And then go ahead, bring it back, down, lower your upper, middle, and lower back. Give yourself a hug. I know that was brutal, and that was only the beginning, right? Feel free to modify throughout this class too. I'll offer a lot of modifications. Go ahead and place your feet flat on the floor again. This time we're going to move into our abdominals. So take your hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, elbows point up towards the ceiling. Take a deep breath in. And then on your exhale, lift off of your shoulder blades and then look down at that area that you gathered when you came into your bridge. So hold it here. And then inhale, go ahead and lower down. Exhale, lift up. This time straighten your left leg. So when you look at everything, your thighs are parallel. You're not folding onto one side. Arms come behind the head. And then inhale, foot comes down, head and shoulders come down. We're going to do the other side. Exhale, come up. I need to check something real quick. Inhale, go ahead and lower down. We're going to add on. Exhale, come up. Left leg lifts. We're going to turn towards the left an inch. So stay off the left shoulder blade. And now pull your right heel towards you. So you're using the friction of your mat or your hardwood floor to help harness the energy of your hamstring and glute. Good. Inhale, come back to center. Left foot comes down, lower down. Exhale, come up. Twist to the right, right leg straightens. Pull your left foot towards you. Try to curl your tailbone under. Inhale, come back to center. Right foot comes down, lower. We got one more each side. Exhale, come up. Left leg straightens. Twist to the left. Pull the right foot in. And then now you have the option to hover that right foot off the floor. Good. Inhale, come back to center, lower down. Exhale, come up. Right leg straightens, twist to the right. Pull the left foot towards you. And then maybe hover the left foot off the floor. And then inhale, come back to center, lower down. Again, give yourself a hug. Good. So in the way that I teach, that's called the reset. And we're all coming from different walks of life. Go ahead and come up onto your hands and knees. And I don't know where your pelvis is. I don't know where your shoulders are. So the key is to kind of get that into more of an alignment. That way when we proceed throughout our practice, you kind of have more of that energy within your core. Go ahead and bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. And maybe walk them in a little bit more than you're used to. Sometimes a lot of us are out here. And from here, we're going to lift that left knee off the floor, flexing the left foot without your ribs sinking towards the floor. So harness that in, left foot is flexed, and start to make baby pulses from the glute up towards the ceiling. And if you don't know if your glute is firing, you can use the right fingers to poke your butt. Good. And then we'll pull the left knee into alignment with the right and bring it out to the side like a fire hydrant and bring it in. Take it out to the side, bring it in, 3 more out to the side, in, out. And keep the core stable, last one, and down. Shake the hips left to right. Feel how that energy was transmitted through your arms, right? It's a little tiring. Go ahead and bring the right leg up into extension. Core is pulling in and start to pulse. So you want to try to keep your heel in close, because the more you start to extend it, the more your hamstring does the work for you. We don't want that. Good, and then pull the right knee into alignment with the left knee and bring it out to abduction. So out to the side and in, what that looks like from this view. So I'm not doing the full-on dog, right? I'm keeping my hips relatively stable. Last one, out to the side and down. Go ahead and shake, rattle, roll, whatever you need to, get a drink. And we're gonna go to the top of our mat to stand. All right, no issues. 11 minutes in, and we're already this warm. I don't know if you're sweating, I'm sweating. All right, feet are hip distance or together at the top of your mat. Inhale, the arms reach forward and then up. Be mindful of your ribs staying down. On your exhale, send your hips back. So this is going to be important in today's class. So the hips go back. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Step the right foot back. Drop the right knee. Inhale, come up into a half kneel. So my right hip is over my right knee. My left knee is over my left ankle. Inhale. Both arms reach up. And then we're going to try to pull our left heel back. So kind of like we did in our abdominals, right? We're harnessing that, pulling everything in, And then on our exhale, hands come down underneath the shoulders, step back into high plank. Lower your knees. Lower down all the way. Inhale, baby cobra. The heart lifts a little. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Pull the belly button up towards the spine with pores working here too. And then push the ground away. Lift up and back into down dog. And from here, we'll step the right foot forward towards our hands. Drop the left knee. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Again, trying to pull that, that forward foot towards you. Sometimes it's hard to speak. And then on your exhale, hands come down, step towards the front. Inhale, arms sweep forward and up. Exhale, hands come down. Step the left foot back this time. Drop the left knee. You have the option here to keep the toes curled under. If you don't want that, don't do it. And from here, this is one of my favorite things to do. I'll show it from the front. We're going to bring our arms wide and out to a T and open the chest. So we're keeping the ribs in, but pulling the arms back. And on your exhale, you're going to fist bump yourself and then bring the backs of the wrists together and kind of punch yourself in the chest and tuck your chin in and lift your elbows up. It feels really weird. So this is why we're going to do it 2 more times. Inhale, open the heart. Exhale, punch your chest. Really curl the tailbone under. You'll start to feel this in the front of your left thigh. Inhale, open up. And exhale. Good. Inhale, come back. And then we're going to bring the hands down underneath the shoulders. Step back into high plank. Lower your knees. Glutes are on. Lower down all the way. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, push the ground away. Use your core and your glutes to help you lift up and back. Step the left foot forward. Drop the right knee. Come on up. We'll do the same thing. Bring those arms wide. Curl the tailbone under. Exhale, fist bump yourself and punch your heart backwards. Trying to round that upper back. Inhale, open it up. Keep going. Exhale, fist bump yourself. Last one. Inhale, open it up. Exhale. Really send the heart back. Lift the elbows forward towards the front of your mat. And then arms come wide. Hands come down. Step towards the front of your mat. Come on up. Shake it out. And we'll move on to our first flow. So the thing that I like to talk about a lot is the hip hinge. So when we bend over, we don't want the knees to go forward first. We want our hips to go back and then our knees to bend. So we're going to take our hands. We're going to get handsy with ourselves. We're going to put them in our hip crease. So find your hip bones. Go right below it. This is our hip flexor area. Send your fingers back into that area as you send the hips back. We're going to do this a few times. So inhale, you come up, squeeze the glutes, feel them press forward. Exhale, hinge. Imagine like a zipper line between your chin and pubic bone so your chin doesn't lift when you do this. Go ahead, a few more. You can add hands sliding down. You can do this fast. You can do it slow. If you've been with me for a while, these feel great. Good. Last one. Inhale, come on up. We're going to open to the right for goddess. So a light bend in the knees here. And I'm going to open to you. So that way you can see everything that's happening. And we're going to take our right hand behind our head and our left hand behind us right above our tailbone and pull your head back into your hand and use the other hand on your tailbone to help draw it down. So sometimes we're like spewed open. Imagine that zipper. Good. And then we'll bring our hands to our thighs and slowly, if you want this, you can start to walk them down the shins and walk them back up to the knees. So we're doing low pulses and making sure that our knees aren't pressing forward, that our shins kind of stay perpendicular to the ground. Good. Last one. Hold it down. Pull the belly button in. And we're going to walk our hands towards the front of our mat. And our toes turn with us. Land the hands. Lift the left leg up into three-legged down dog. Your right knee should be a little bit bent so we don't pull on the hamstring. And on your inhale, we're shifting forward into plank with our left leg lifted. So one-legged plank. If you need to drop the knee, you can. Lift up, three-legged down dog. Come forward, one-legged plank. We'll do 2 more of these. Make sure your right glute is squeezing, but also your left one. Last one, lift up. Good. Bend the left knee. You can lower all the way down like this or lower a knee and lower down. Keep the left knee bent. You're on the floor. So eventually you'll bring your head down onto the back of your hands, but I'm going to demonstrate from this upper position. We're going to keep the left foot flexed and start to pulse it up towards the ceiling. So you can put your forehead down and you're really trying to press both of your front hip points into the ground. It's okay if your right one is a little lifted, but especially that left one. And now you're definitely feeling it, right? Good. Go ahead, lower it down. Hands come under the shoulders. Push the ground away. Step the left foot close to the hands. Lift the right leg. We're here in standing L. So my hips are even. You can be on your fingertips. Bend that left knee as much as you need to. Take a few breaths here. You can open the mouth and breathe fire. And then right leg next to left. Come on up. Shake it loose. And we'll go to the other side. I don't know where my water is. This is the second week I've done this. All right, let's start with our hip hinges. So feet are hip distance. Hands come in. You can slide the hands down and come up. I'll give you the other option is inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, we swing them behind us. So you have 2 options here. Just depends on what your hamstrings are feeling. Remember, the more you bend your knees, the happier your hamstrings will be. Good. Last one, inhale up. Open up to the left for goddess. This time, left hand behind the head, right arm behind the back. Find that tuck. Pull your head back. Good. And then we'll pulse here. If you want to, bring your hands all the way down. You can bring them down, but you might want to save some energy. Good. Come on down. Hands walk towards the front. They plant, step back into 3-legged down dog. Right leg is lifted. You know where we're going, that one-legged plank. Shoulders over wrists, core is in. I'm not landing like this. Lift up. You got 3 more. I can't see any of you for the most part. So take your time. Keep everything harnessed in. This is my last workout of the day. Lift it up. Good. Bring it forward into plank. Bend the right knee. Go ahead. Lower all the way down. You can place your forehead on the back of your hands and start pulsing. Remember that right hip point is pushing into the ground. Last one. Notice if this one is a little bit more burny and lower it. Hands come under the shoulders, push up, curl the left toes under, step the right foot forward, come up into a standing L. That right foot should be under the right hip. Take a few breaths here. Allow for some of that energy we created into our glute move down our chain. And then step the left foot next to right. Come on up. Shake it out. I will be right back. All right. I hope everyone's doing good. Maybe minorly sweating, right? Or majorly, depending on where you are. You're outside in Arizona sunshine, great. If you're here stuck inside because it's 40 flipping degrees out, great. We got internal heat, right? Okay. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Exhale, fold in half. Hands come down. Our right leg is going to step back, and our right hand's coming onto a block or the mat, right? Got no choice. From here, we're coming into twisted crescent. So we're going to inhale, open up to the left. Our gaze is on our left big toe, and we're leaning back into that right shoulder. Try to pull your ribs away from that inner thigh. Last breath in. On your exhale, the left hand comes down, and we're turning to the right for a side lunge. So both of our feet are parallel, and our right knee's going to bend. Both hands come up onto the right thigh. So I'll show that from this view. Good, and we're sitting back into that hip. So take those fingers, push them back. We want to be able to see all 5 of those toes. Good. From here, this is a little bit of a new move. So we're going to push off this right leg and pull the knee into our chest. If that's not available to you, you push off and bring your right foot next to your left. And then we go back out into that side lunge. So remember, send the hip back, and then we pull it back into our chest. Sit it back, pull it in, or step it in. So we're training a lot of our glute muscles to fire here. Good. Last one. Go ahead and pull that right knee up to your chest. So I'm here. Good. Feel this left one fire. And then the right foot comes down. We're turning towards the back of our mat this time. So now our right foot is forward. And come up into a crescent lunge. So a little bit of a pause, a little bit of a, here we go, right? So bend the back knee as much as you need to. Try to neutralize that pelvis. We don't want the ribs to come out. And then hold here. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Bring your right hand to your right hip crease. Bring your left hand on top of your right thigh. This is going to be our buffer. Lift our left leg coming into warrior 3. We're going to bend the left knee and bring it into internal rotation behind our right thigh. Good. And then we're going to pull it up into our chest, external rotation. Send the hip back using that right hand, bring it into internal rotation behind the right hamstring. Again, exhale, push through. This is really shaky and challenging, so if you need a chair or a wall, I do not blame you. We're going to do 2 more. Send it back, bend that right knee, keep in the left, so it's almost like we're sitting cross-legged. Bring it up. Ooh. Last one, go ahead, bring it behind you, cross-legged. Bring it up. External rotation. Good. And then bring it behind you. Lightly land those left toes. So you're in this curtsy squat. Your legs are crossed. Hands come to heart center. Exhale, left elbow to the top of the right thigh. Look down at your right big toe. And then bring the hands down. Come into a seated twist with your right knee on top. If you're like, whoa, where are we? We're in the middle of our mat. Extend your left leg if you need to, and we'll just roll our shoulders here. Your right knee's on top. We're in a seated twist. Good. And then from here, go ahead and unwind. Come up to stand, and in your own way, walk towards the front of your mat. Shake it out. Inhale, heart, arms reach forward and up. Other side, exhale, send those hips back, step the left leg back, come into twisted crescent. Left hand is under that left shoulder. Reach the right arm up, not because you're wrenching it open. Use your strong core that we worked so hard on to open you up. Breathe into the abdominals, the ribs. Last breath. And exhale, right hand comes down. Turn towards the left. We're coming into that side lunge. This time our left knee's bent. Again, use the fingers to help stuff you back in there if you need to. Sometimes a lot of knee pain comes from our femur being driven forward into our knee instead of sitting backwards into our hip. Go ahead, come into that move. Pull the left knee up, sit it back. Knee up, or step it in. Don't let the ribs go out. Don't lift the chin. Imagine that zipper. Good. Go ahead, hold the left knee up. Pause. Glute stabilization. And then step it out. Turn towards the back, coming into a left leg crescent lunge. Adjust as needed. Feel free to also put that knee on the ground if you have to. Good. Inhale, arms reach forward and up. Breathe. Feel your diaphragm lift and expand, getting that stretch in the front part of our right thigh. Exhale, left hand comes to left hip. Right hand comes to the top thigh. Gently push off that back leg and bend the right knee. We're coming into that amazing pose. Cross the right knee behind the left and then come up to stand. Pull it into external rotation so it looks like that. Good. Sit back. Bring it into internal rotation. Bring it up. External rotation. Pull the inner ankle closer to your nose. Sit it back. 2 more. Use that left hand to help remind your left hip not to stick out. Sit it back. Last one. Bring it up. And then sit it back. Bring the right toes behind you. They lightly land. Hands come to heart center. Take a breath in. Exhale, right elbow gently kisses the top of the left thigh. We're not sinking into it. And then we're sitting down in our seated twist. Left knee is on top. Feel free to kick the right ankle out if you need to. Good, roll the shoulders here. Get some movement going. Maybe feel some Rice Krispie crackling going on. And then we'll turn to the right, unwind ourselves, unstick anything that feels stuck. You can crawl towards the top of your mat. Shake it loose. Move and groove. We'll go to our last sequence. This one's pretty short, so heck yeah, right? It's only 2 poses, but one of the poses feels really good. Inhale, reach the arms forward and up. Exhale, fold in half. Inhale, step or jump back into high plank. Exhale, you can lower your knees and lower or do your full chaturanga. Inhale, baby cobra or up dog. Exhale, use that low abdominal to lift you up and back into down dog. So we're heading into warrior 2. We're going to lift our left leg up. And on your exhale, you can either jump your right foot a few times and then swing your left leg down, or you can step your left foot forward. I'm just giving those of you who have the option to use it. Either way, we'll all end up in left leg warrior 2, which means our left toes are facing this way, our right toes are facing forward, and so are our hips. Pull the ribs in. Remember that feeling. Arms come out to the side. Exhale, reverse your warrior. We're opening up this left side body. Let your right ear fall to your right shoulder. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, left elbow to left thigh. Right arm reaches over. Pause here. This is the fun move. There's a lot of stuff happening right here. So try to push into the outer edge of your right foot. That's for starters. Make sure this right glute is on. Tap it. Hello, are you there? And then the right arm is coming forward. We're going to flip our palm to face up. So we want that thumb to be facing down, almost like you're booing, and then the palm to face up. If this does not feel good on the shoulders, don't do it. Bring your head behind, or hand behind the head. We're going to bend that right knee and keep reaching our fingertips away. So this back knee is bending, and we're trying to reach our arm in the other direction. Hopefully you feel that. This is our quadratus lumborum. It gets pretty angry when our glutes aren't working. Good, last one. Inhale, go ahead, lift up, straighten the back leg, turn towards the front of your mat, step back into tabletop. From here, I'm going to give you an option. I don't know people's external hip rotation, so you can do regular cat-cow here, or if you can slide your right ankle on top of your left knee, you can curl the toes under if you want to, almost like you're doing a figure four in quadruped, and do your cat-cow with your right ankle crossed over your left knee. If it feels impossible, don't worry about it. We'll clear some of that up. Last one. Good. Gently uncross. Wiggle and move your way into down dog, wherever you are. Whatever modification you chose to use. We're going to lift the right leg. Same thing here. Pushing from that bottom leg, you can launch yourself up and switch your legs in midair, or step the right foot forward, drop the left heel, opening up into warrior two on the right side. Again, look at your alignment, right toes, left toes, and your heels should be somewhat in line with each other or the midline of your foot. Harness it all in. Take a breath in. Feel the space grow. Exhale. Reverse your warrior. Drop your left hand down. Exhale. Right elbow to right thigh. Reach the left arm up and over, or you can bring it behind the head. We're flipping that palm to face up. So we're internally rotating. And then bend that left knee. Pull those ribs in. I don't feel it as much on this side. It's okay if you don't too. Don't keep looking for it. Gazes down. Good. Inhale, straighten the left leg, open up. Back to warrior two. Exhale, step into our tabletop. This time you can cross the left ankle in front of the right. Cat-cow here. Or you could even cross the knees if you wanted to. Two more breaths. And then we're going to put it all together. So starting from standing, whenever you're ready. This is the part that's a little bit more heated, a little bit more jumping. Know that jumping is optional. So everything we've done before, you can do again. And if I say jump, you don't have to say how high. You can say, no, thank you. And then after that, we have our cool down, which I promised everyone. So it won't be as tough. We're going to start with our hip hinges. So you can start as we normally did, going up and down, or you can throw your arms back and push off the toes, doing your jumps. Try to land softly, quietly, as if you had downstairs neighbors. Last one, hold it down. We're gonna open to the right for goddess. Good, pulsing here. You can even bring your right hand down and left hand on top and start to pull your belly button up as you keep the fingertips on the ground. Breathe here. Good. Go ahead and walk your hands towards the front of your mat. Hands land, left leg lifts. This time we'll bend the left knee, open it into external rotation without your ribs moving. Take a breath in. And on your exhale, we're coming into plank. Pull your left knee towards your right elbow. Again, optional. Inhale, three-legged down dog. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last one. Exhale. Step back into regular plank. Lower all the way down. We'll come into locust here. Inhale, lift your heart a little bit. Arms reach back. Legs lift, or you can grab the inner thighs for bow. Not the inner thighs, the inner ankles. Breathe. Last one, this is our pause. Believe it or not. Exhale, hands under shoulders, lift up and back into downward facing dog. Good. Left leg lifts. Exhale, step it forward 3/4 of the way. Right leg lifts. We're here in standing L. If you are somebody who likes to add handstands into their practice, you can lean into your shoulders and kick off the bottom leg. If you're like, no thank you, just hold here for one more breath. Exhale. Last one. Go ahead, drop the right toes. We're turning to the right for side lunge. And then we're coming up. Whoa! I lost all my momentum, actually. And you have the option here to hop off the left foot. Good, pause, right knee comes up. Then we're gonna take it behind us for a curtsy squat. Good, pull it up, send it out to side lunge. Pull the knee up, curtsy squat, up. So what that looks like, up, curtsy squat. Good. Last one, right leg comes behind, coming down into a seated twist. So the left leg is on top, right leg can extend. From here, you can take a regular twist, can get into that outer left leg. Good. We're going to turn to the right towards the back of our mat. Step the right foot forward, coming into warrior 3 immediately. So use your hands wherever you need them. We're going to internally rotate, externally rotate. So this set isn't changing because it's so dang effective. Last one. Good. Step the left leg back, turn all the way towards the front. Step in, shake, and move. We'll do the other side. So hopefully everything's on fire and hopefully you don't hate me. The glutes are super important movers, and I hope I've expressed that to you by now, especially for runners, and even if you're a walker. We all walk. These are super, super important. So swings, inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, you can throw it back and jump up. You can just slide them up and down like an elevator. Make sure you use those glutes to push the hips forward when you come up and that the ribs don't come with you too. Good, last one. Come all the way up. Open up to the left for goddess. Remember all of that feeling? So this time our hips are a little bit more open. We're pulsing. Try to mind the gap here. If you want to keep your hands in your hip sockets, you can. Sometimes it feels good. You can bring the right hand on top of the left this time on the ground. Good, hold it down. Walk the hands towards the front. Plant them, lift the right leg up into three-legged down dog. Take a big breath here. Exhale it out your mouth. Keep those ribs in, bend the right knee, open it to external rotation. And then bring it across the body in plank. Whew. Inhale, open it up. Don't let those ribs open to the right wall. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, open. You can do this on your knees if you need to, or your forearms. Exhale. Last one, open it up. Exhale. Good. Open it up. Then bring the right foot next to the left. Shift forward and lower down. Inhale, open, lift into locust. So in locust, our glutes should be working. Feel free to find your sits bones where your hamstrings connect. I know it feels weird to grab your butt, but literally your hamstrings connect right in there. And sometimes they don't know what they're doing. Good. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Lift up and back. Step the right foot 3/4 of the way up. Standing L. Pause here. Hips are level. Don't open up. Keep it closed. Last breath in. You have the option to kick up if you want to. Good. Left toes land. We're lunging to the left. Pause. This is where we coil up. So when you're ready, you can push off, bring the knee in, and then you can take it into curtsy, bring it up. Try to keep the glutes centered. So when you're doing a curtsy squat, you're not, right, you're staying mostly forward. Boom. Good. Last one. Bring it into that curtsy squat. And then you can come down to seated twist, kicking that left leg out if you need to, and turning to the right. You can use your right hand to massage along that line. Get some big breaths here. Good. Open up to the left, coming into down dog, facing the back side of our mat. Step the left leg forward. Lift up into warrior three. Maintain those ribs, bend the right knee. Internal rotation. Stand up, external rotation. Send it back. Use that left hand to send your left hip back. Again, use a wall or a bed or a chair if you need to. It's almost like that curtsy squat and the side lunge, except it's all contained. The last one. Bring it up. Good. Right foot steps down. Shake it out. Good job. So that was the hard part. Everything after this is like smooth sailing. So go ahead and settle down into seated on your mat. I'm going to try to, good, you can still see it. So we're going to come into 90-90. I'm going to do my best to show this to you. So both my legs are at a 90 degree. My front shin is parallel with my back thigh. And my back shin is parallel to my front thigh. So give yourself a moment to look at those things. And then bring your hands behind you, prop yourself up on your fingertips, and just move them back and forth. It's okay if your angle becomes closed off. Your hips are going to try to inch you closer to whatever you're facing. Just notice that that might happen. We're trying to rinse some stuff out using gravity as our friends. Good. We're going to start off with our left side. So our left one will be an external rotation, so you should be able to see your inner line of your pants or your shorts. I'm going to move back on my mat for this. So what this is eccentric lowering. If you have a pillow or a blanket that you'd like to put under that left knee, you're more than welcome to. If you can't, no big deal. Do this at kind of test out how things feel. If you're like, I just want to do pigeon, just do pigeon. This is for eccentric lowering. So what I'm doing is I won't be using my hands as I lower down, and then I'm using my hands to bring me back up. So I'm going to turn my chest to face the direction of maybe the middle of my shin. And on my exhale, I'm slowly going to lower, and I'm pulling that belly button in, lowering my chest until I meet my barrier, whatever it is. And then my hands land and I walk them back. Take a breath in. Exhale, you can even bring them behind you. Inhale, hands land, walk them back. We'll do this 3 more times. Exhale, eccentrically lower. Hands come down, push away. If this back one cramps, I apologize. It's something that happens when muscles haven't been turned on in a while. Exhale, eccentrically lower and hold here. So if you're not quite feeling this in your left hip, go ahead and try to reach your left, the outer part of your left knee more down towards your mat. Maybe try to even press into the outer part of your foot. Sometimes people like to grab their foot and try to pull it closer to them. For me, this is perfectly fine. Good, last one. Inhale, lift the chest. We're going to turn our chest to face back towards the center. We're not moving our legs. We're going to sit back into this right hip until you feel the stretch. You'll know it when you hit it. If you have really good internally rotated hips, then good for you. But you're trying to get that right butt cheek down onto the ground. Again, if you don't feel it, you can put a block or a blanket underneath the inner part of your ankle to give you more of an internal stretch. But for most people, this is money right here. If you don't feel it, keep trying to turn your chest to face the direction of that knee. Trying to increase our breath will help create space in our hip. Good. Turn away from that knee, and we're going to lift and go to the other side. Again, set up your 90-90 if that kind of drifted away from you. If you need to make it less than that because of other things that I don't know about, go ahead, do so. Listen to your body. So because for me, my right knee comes way off the ground. I'm going to use this mat. We're going to eccentrically lower. So you can make fists. Exhale, lower that chest. Keep pulling the belly button in. Inhale, use your hands. Push the ground away, help you. Exhale, make fists. Lower. If you want to use yourself to help you lift back up, you can do that too. I just don't know what people can do. Exhale, lower. Hands push away. Exhale. Inhale. Last one. Exhale, lower down and hold. Notice if there's a difference between this side and the other side. Pushing through the outer edge, that right shin if you need to. Some people have more open hips than I. Good. Last one, inhale, walk your hands in. And we're going to turn and open up and sit back into that left glute. If this hurts your knees, again, don't do it or decrease the angle. Sitting back. The more you get your chest to face the direction of that left knee, the more you can feel it. Try to keep the back straight instead of rounding in the spine. Good. Mind shaking. Turn away from it. Coming to seated. We're going to cross our left ankle on top of our right thigh. Pull that knee in, and we're going to just roll on that left glute. So if you can hold it in, if you want to just roll to the left and right, feel free to just make weird faces. There's good spots in there. You can also just hold this and not use your right knee. And we'll do the same thing with the right one. Cross the right ankle, or just grab your right leg and roll onto the right hip. It helps when both knees are bent, though. That way you get more glutage. Good. Last stretch is going to be optional. It's lizard. If you're ready to go into Shavasana, feel free to go into Shavasana. If you want to fold up your mat to put under your right knee, you can. We're going to extend our right leg past our right hip. Both hands coming to the inner part of this left foot. You can keep the back toes curled under if it feels better on your knee. And my favorite part is I can just stay here, or if you want more, you can take that left hand and walk it forward. So we're creating more space. If this feels great, you can stay. If you want to take your right arm to join it, it's even harder, but it feels like such a great stretch on the back. Or you can grab that ankle and bring that right arm in. Last breath. You can open the mouth and exhale a fire breath. And then we'll just turn to the other side. So you can turn like we've done in class. Setting up, walking that right arm forward first. Breathe into your ribs. You take whatever variation you want. Pull the belly button up and in. Good. In your own way, come onto your back. We'll be here for just a few moments to settle into our practice, kind of absorb what's happened here. Because it's a lot, right? This is the first time you've ever done this kind of practice. At least for me, it takes a lot out of me, especially when I have to teach and do it. You can keep the knees bent, or you can extend them if you're feeling low back issues. Hopefully you're not, but if you are, you can keep the knees bent and let them fall in towards each other as your feet go wide. Palms can be face up away from the body, or you can just rest them on yourself. Taking time here to feel our breath naturally restore itself. Feeling the energy coursing through our core a little bit easier. Just listening to the sound and texture of our breath. If your tongue is touching the roof of your mouth, let it go so that your jaw can relax. Good. On your inhale, one by one, place each foot flat on the ground if it's not there already. On your next inhale, reach your arms up overhead, reaching your arms and shoulders away from the hips. And then on your exhale, each knee comes in to the chest. Go ahead and draw circles on your low back in one direction, and then the other direction. And in your own way, come on up to seated. Hands coming to heart center. Lightly pressing the palms together. Thank you for joining me on this Friday night to do some booty and hip work. May your strength carry you into the rest of your weekend. Namaste.